vlog, and for today's vlog, we'll learn about OHS and what are the steps to identify the risks and hazards and how can we avoid them. Let's get started. But before we get to our topic, we must know a little bit of information about OHS. What is OHS anyway? OHS stands for Occupational Health and Safety. It is a planned system of working to prevent illness and injury where you work by recognizing and identifying hazards and risks.
First step, you must identify the hazard. Second step, clear the area close to the hazard. Third step, clearly identify the hazard to protect the people around it. Then final step, if the hazard is safely and easily cleared, then it's finished.
But if the hazard is not cleared yet and you guys don't know what to do, here's step number 5. Here comes step number 5. Report it to the nearest teacher in charge or appropriate person to obtain some assistance. Sixth and last step of the hazard. Being cleared correct, document it and serve it as a practice in case of further incidents.
There are many types of hazards. The first one is the fire hazard. Here are some steps to do in case you see or encounter a fire. First things first is to assess the degree of the danger before doing anything. Doing something or anything before assessing the danger may lead to a more dangerous situation. Next, if you think it is safe, move anyone away from the vicinity of the danger, mainly the children, women, and the elderly. Next up is to call for assistance. Verbally shout for fire as loud and as clear as you can. Also, if you see a nearby fire alarm, break the glass and quickly press the button. Next, if you see someone stuck or screaming for help, don't immediately run to help them. Assess the danger and see if you can or can't help them. If you can, try to do something and help them. If you can't, remember the place where that person is stuck to tell the fire brigade later. Lastly, if it's safe to do so, attack the fire with the proper and correct fire extinguisher.
If the designated fire officer or firefighter has not yet arrived, there must be someone who quickly needs to take responsibility. If you're the one in charge, here are the things you need to do. First, locate the fire and its source. Second, yell fire or apoy in Tagalog while finding all the people in the house or establishment. Third, inform all the people living near the burning house or establishment. Fourth, ask them to do a head count in case some members of their family is missing. It's better to be complete than losing a home and at the same time losing a loved one. Lastly, notify the authority if someone is missing. Also, don't panic. It will just cause stress. That's the last step for fire safety.
You guys also have to know about accident reports. So what is an accident report? Accident reports are forms to give specific details or what is happening while experimenting in the laboratory. The report needs to contain these details. First, name of the person injured, and we must inform the family of the person who is injured. Second, the date and time of the accident. Third, the type of injury that the person have. Fourth, we must know if the person is handled by a nurse or other professional while waiting to the rescue. Fifth, the person injured has given a first aid. And lastly, make an action to the incident to prevent any further incidents in the future.
So those are some tips to avoid the hazards and the meaning of accident reports. Now, here are some personal safety tips while working with PCs. There are 3 parts of them. First, the workplace. Second, computer systems. And third, technicians. Hey, let's go!
First part is your workplace. Now, here are the procedures. First step for personal safety is do not work alone, because what if something might happen to you and no one will rescue you? Keep that in mind. Second, you should be fully aware to safety measures while having workplace accidents, fire, or other emergencies should be recognized. Third, if you know a hazard will happen at that place or a particular place at your workplace, clean the area to maintain sanitation and prevent accidents that may occur in the future.
Second part, safety measurements while working on a computer system. Always power up and unplug your computer before working on it. That's the most important rule you shouldn't forget. Second, do not work on a component while it is attached to a power source. That's a big no-no. Third step, do not remove expansion cards from a computer while it's on. Be careful, it might cause a short circuit and explode. Just kidding. Fourth step, make sure that no electronic is near the water source or just water. It make your electronics malfunction. Worse, it will be broken.
The next one is the technicians. What is the meaning of technicians? Technicians are skilled workers that work with complex systems or perform highly technical, mechanical, or diagnostic tests. Technicians can work indoors or might spend most of their time outside. These are the things the technicians need to do before, after, and while working on the computer. The first thing you need to do before working on computer is remove all jewelries when working inside any computer-related equipment. It is important because if a person is wearing a loose jewelry, it can be caught in cables and other components of the computer. Personal protective equipment or PPE are correctly used in accordance with organization OHS procedures and practices. Always discharge yourself before touching any computer parts. Use anti-static devices and rubber footwear because it helps us to disperse static electricity. Last is do not eat, drink, or smoke when working on your computer.
Well, there are certain procedures to follow while installing items on our systems. Well, keep watching to know what procedures to follow.
Number 1. Remember, before entering the computer, move computer off the carpet for static purposes. And if you're not able to, then try to move on the carpet to keep the static from the building. Because the static can flow in a carpet while you are likely fine to build a piece in a carpet. You should use a table or a cardboard. You never know when the static will kill something. Thus, if you are building your computer on carpet, don't wear socks.
Second, disconnect all cables including power cord. Remove the power cord, monitor, keyboard, mouse, phone line, network cables, printer, scanners, USB cables, cable modems, anything else that is connected. This is very important.
So third, if you are finished disconnecting everything, push the power button in 5 seconds. The computer can start even with the power cord is disconnected. Pushing the power button drains that power. Very important. This is just like your TV, because most of the computers, TV or stereo or other gadgets is actually powered off. But there are small circuits on it that may be active where it is used or to sense when you want to turn the device on. Your procedure ensures that these little circuits are completely powered off and goes to the extra trouble of discharging all of the capacitors in the power supply to make sure that they aren't powering the circuits inside your computer.
Fourth, you can touch any metal surface on the case of the system to release any static buildup from your body. If an anti-static wrist strap is not available in your house or your workplace, you can discharge electricity from your body by touching any metal surface or any unpainted metal surface in your computer chassis or your computer case. Do this periodically to avoid any static buildup in your body.
Fifth procedure, our computer are the best dust collectors. I know it's like really annoying. If you're going to clean it, don't use your breath because your breath contains moisture and computer isn't a fan of moisture. Remember that. Use compressed air in order to clean your dearest computer, but don't press it like you're spraying aerosol. It will build up moisture. Just use quick short bursts to remove them.
6. While handling the computer parts, don't touch the bronze tip. Just hold the parts on the edges and be careful while handling them because you might drop them accidentally.
Number 7, it's getting dark in here, guys. Well, inside the system, not really inside, like working on the system. Be careful because the system has sharp edges. You don't want to get caught, don't you? So you should never put your hands inside the system while it's plugged or turned on, because if you do that, I'm gonna say rest in peace.
8th procedure. Also make sure that your compartment is well ventilated, because if not, it could fry your system. You don't want that to happen, so to let air ventilate in your system, drill holes or put a small fan in your desk to circulate some air.
And lastly, this is important. Do not ever connect or disconnect cables while the system or your device is on. Well, unless it is a flash drive, it's fine. Because if you're gonna do that, your equipment might be damaged.
Well, I hope you learn about OHS. This has been Group D. Goodbye!